Citizenship Education. On May 25, 1948, a man declared himself as a world citizen. Garry Davis, a theater actor, World War II veteran, turned into an international peace advocate. His journey on being a world citizen started with his deep regret on being a pilot bomber during the World War II. He confided in his book, My Country is the World: The Adventures of a World Citizen. Ever since my first mission over Brandenburg, I had felt pangs of conscience, and underneath all grief, emotionalism, and propaganda, nourished hatred. I had begun to question the morality of punishing the German people with our superior firepower. How many bombs had I dropped? How many men, women, and children had I murdered? Wasn't there any other way? I kept asking myself. Garry believed that if there were no nation-states, there would be no wars. In 1948, he renounced his American citizenship and led a full life as a world citizen. He spent his life as stateless. Garry Davis made himself a world passport and traveled around the world. He claimed to be inspired by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which states that everyone has the right to leave any country, including his own, and to return to his country. He challenged the concept of country borders and its rules. This made his life at risk, getting arrested, leaving countries, and entering new ones. Garry lived in and out of jails while advocating the idea of world citizenship. In 1953, he established the World Government of World Citizens and provided passports, identification cards, and certificates to its members. More than 1 million world citizen documents have been issued since then. What is Garry Davis's approach to global citizenship? What does he mean by world citizenship in this story? Do you agree with his approach? Why or why not? What is a global citizenship? In this chapter, the terms global citizenship and global citizen are explored. It is crucial to understand this term because it helps shape the way we understand and approach global citizenship education, GCED. The term global citizenship is a debatable concept, which has been widely and critically discussed by scholars and practitioners in various fields. Often, due to the diverse social, cultural, and political backgrounds, as well as different priorities, notions of global citizenship vary among individuals and institutions. Combining the terms global and citizenship might seem to sound paradoxical at first. When one says citizenship, it usually connotes a membership to an exclusive governing authority. On the other hand, global connotes no territorial boundary. So, does global citizenship mean a membership to a specific global entity or authority? Does it entail a binding legal status? And will it replace national citizenship? The concept of citizenship has changed over time. There was a time in the past that only men were considered as citizens. But due to development of civil, political, and social rights, a more inclusive concept of citizenship has emerged. And now, living in a very globalized world, discussions on what comprises a meaningful citizenship again arise. Some claim that global citizenship is granted to everyone from birth. Others view global citizenship as something that is acquired through one's life experiences, ranging from awareness, beliefs, and attitudes to behaviors. To date, it is widely understood that global citizenship is a sense of belonging to the global community and common humanity, rather than as a legal status. It highlights responsibility to the global community. This means that global citizenship does not dismiss or undermine national citizenship, but it does expand one's civic responsibility beyond national borders. Global citizenship adds value to citizenship because it broadens people's participation in the greater society. Acting beyond one's immediate community, it emphasizes the political, economic, social, and cultural interdependency and interconnectedness between the local, national, and global communities. Accordingly, global citizens experience solidarity and collective identity among themselves, and collective responsibility at both local and global levels. In this regards, global citizenship should be seen as an ethos. Walter Dill Scott said that the global consciousness element of global citizenship creates lofty moral expectations, and it consists of an awareness of other perspectives, a single humanity as the primary level of community, and a moral conscience to act for the good of the world. However, we must also challenge the unexamined notion of common humanity. We are to be aware of the inequality and injustices brought by structures, systems, and individuals. Our interdependence and interconnectedness in terms of political, economic, social, and cultural aspect are unequal. In order to achieve harmony and solidarity, injustices are to be addressed by creating dialogues and providing spaces where people can critically reflect on their own assumptions, identities, and power. This is part of our collective responsibility. In line with this, scholars such as Torres, 2015, propose global citizenship as planetary citizenship. Planetary citizenship is about respecting the dignity of the people by confronting inequalities among people and societies, and respecting and protecting the Earth as our shared home. As our world is undergoing multiple globalization processes, propelled by greed, inequality, and injustices, we are to protect the people, planet, and peace. Various definitions on global citizen. To date, a consensus with regards to the definition of global citizenship has yet to be reached. It has been a subject to a wider range of interpretations depending on the context. However, we can summarize global citizenship as: global citizenship is a sense of belonging and of responsibility to global community for a just, peaceful, and sustainable world. It is a way of understanding, acting, and relating oneself to others and the environment based on universal values through respect for diversity and pluralism. Then, who is a global citizen? Which of the following is a global citizen? Choose what you think describes a global citizen. Though there is no globally agreed upon definition of a global citizen, there are some common essential features that constitute a global citizen. Along with UNESCO, many institutions promote the concept of global citizen in various capacities. Here are some working definitions of a global citizen presented by international institutions. Oxfam defines a global citizen as aware of the wider world and having a sense of his or her role as a world citizen. And it is a person who respects and values diversity and has an understanding of how the whole world works. A global citizen is passionately committed to social justice, participates in the community at a range of levels, from local to global, and works with others to make the world a more equitable and sustainable place. Also, a global citizen takes responsibility for his or her actions. The U.S. Fund for UNICEF explains that a global citizen is someone who understands interconnectedness, respects and values diversity, has the ability to challenge injustice, and takes action in personally meaningful ways. The Global Citizens Initiative states that a global citizen is someone who identifies with being part of an emerging world community and whose actions contribute to building this community's values and practices. Based on these different definitions of global citizens, what features do they have in common? UNESCO states that the global citizen is someone who thinks and acts for a more just, peaceful, and sustainable world. If we were to summarize the key words from different people and institutions, it would look like this. In case of think, concepts like awareness of the wider world, understanding of how the world works, understanding interconnectedness, and identifying with a world community are included. In case of actions, it means participating in local and global communities, making informed decisions, and taking responsibility for one's actions. For what, it refers to challenging injustice and being passionate about social justice, respecting and valuing diversity, and making the more equitable and sustainable society. Now that you have seen different interpretations of what a global citizen is, who do you think is a global citizen? Are you a global citizen? In what ways are you one? For each, let's try the quiz based on what we've learned this time. The end of Chapter 6. Who is a global citizen? We will meet you again in the next chapter. Thank you.